Hello, everyone. Greetings, salutations. How's everyone doing out there? I'm so sorry if I'm a little discombobulated. I'm so sorry. I literally like came in the house like 20 minutes ago. So I also have like a new setup. So we're gonna be like experimenting a little today. So I apologize if today's stream is just a little bit on the hectic side, but before we get started today, I just want to give a quick Patreon shout out to Uncanny Flame and Well Luisa for being amazing supporters as um we've been doing this just at least for this month and next month until the Patreon is officially in launch, but that won't be until July. So just wanted to give a quick shout out for their support. And for today's program, basically, oh, also that we have a new uh, follower goal for our goblins and ghouls out there. I thought I would, especially that you guys were so sweet the past couple of times on the stream. Um, we had some new followers join our little family. So I thought since you guys were so sweet and so amazing. I wanted to at least change the graphics and stuff, especially as a community. We've been working on emotes and we're steadily adding on to the library. On Monday, that's kind of what we did. I'm still not finished with. I really wanted to like reveal it like so bad, but I wanted to put some finishing touches to our emo library, just because we worked on the pastel cat last time. But I'm itching to show you guys what I have so far, but at the same time, I don't want to like ruin the surprise, I guess. So I'll most likely post that at the end of the week, but also on Sunday's vote. Yeah, I put it like the day before. Sunday's vote, I put between creating an emote together and joining me on my painting, um, like a paint with me, and it was super close. Like it was basically neck and neck. So I thought I would at least. Oh my gosh, you guys can actually hear my AC. Oh, okay, so I'm like on a different side of the room. So I'm going to like lower the AC so you guys don't hear this like swooshing. It sounds like I'm in a moving car. I assure you, I wish my painting skills were as stable. Uh, but I have shaky hands as it is, so that'll be an art challenge I would not accept. Drawing on a mobile vehicle would not be it. Um, so you guys wanted to join me. So if anyone's new to the adventure, I'm working on a set of 3 paintings to donate to like my local library. Uh, just because they reached out to me and were like, "Hey, so we have an empty wall, and you're an artist. Want to decorate our wall?" Which was super cool because I was like checking out art books and they asked to see my portfolio and stuff, which is like pretty cool. Let me just lower the music really quick. I don't know what it is, but like the Twitch stream, like the music playlist, like I put, you know what? I'm gonna probably change it to electronic because I don't know. It's not speaking to the chill. Yeah, I just put something. But yeah, we're gonna try a new setup for today. My back is actually gonna be to the PC, so um, basically what I'm going to do is that I have like my Twitch stream chat opened up right here on my tablet. So we're gonna like try that today and then like see how it goes. I'm kind of nervous because I don't want to like miss anyone's comments or anything like that. So I'll try and kind of look back when I can to like make sure I don't like miss anybody. But we're gonna try it like this and kind of experiment. Honestly, today is kind of a day of experimentation. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna do a couple of things today. So I'm gonna make sure to like turn my head anytime, just to make sure I don't miss any of you guys' chats because I love talking to you guys. But yeah, I'm so sorry if I am a little bit messy today, just because. Uh, but the good thing is I'm fully caffeinated. Um, so we're gonna do a couple of experimentations today. I'm super, super excited. Hopefully we'll get through all of them in the hour. Just because I know a bunch of you have been excited to paint together. So I went to my local art shop. That was actually on base. It's so funny because I like passed by it 50 times, and the art shop is called the Arts and Crafts Center. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I guess this is like a summer camp thing for kids. Lo and behold, thankfully, I asked a Facebook group that it's kind of for locals here. And they were like, no, 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 like you can actually buy art supplies. It's like basically, and if you guys are familiar in the States, it's like a Michaels, basically like a Michaels on base. So I was able to buy this gummed paper tape. I've never used it in my life. I did ask, oh my gosh, wait. I don't know why. I do not vibe with this music. I almost feel like I'm supposed to be like on a video game run. I'm not liking this. Let me see if. All right, lo-fi playlist. Work with me. I'm just like, oh man. So I've never in my life used this. I've always used watercolor tape. So we're gonna try that out. Also, I wanted to compare it to just like regular old washi tape. Um, and I've heard good and bad things about using it, especially we're gonna be using watercolor. So I kind of wanted to put these to the test. And um, I wanted to show you guys kind of the process that I looked up on YouTube. I'll make sure to, after the stream, to put a link for the specific YouTube video that I saw using transfer paper, or I'm sorry, tracing paper. Um, Basically, step by step is where you take your original drawing. This was basically a copy that I did, like of my first drafts to like color the paper, to kind of like set down the colors and stuff, like a test run I did with like painting markers. And basically, what the tutorial said was to make a copy of the original drawing and reverse it, because when you go to put it on your tracing paper, you're going to trace it as is and then flip it. And from that flipped image, you're actually going to trace it again. And then the graphite that's on the initial trace is going to transfer over to your watercolor paper. Which, if any of you guys have used watercolor paper before, this is such a lifesaver because the basically what happens with watercolor paper is that it's very sensitive to erasing and very, especially once you start laying down your color, it it's very vulnerable to just like tear apart. So I like to kind of get my sketches and stuff done beforehand. I used to have like an LED box, but I left that back in the States. And also, it's very finicky with like the type of watercolor paper that you use. I've kind of graduated, I guess you can say, to watercolor paper that has more cotton on it, like cotton in it, because it's more absorbent. It is amazing, especially when you use sets like the Windsor brand, that has more pigment in it than a lot of other watercolors. Um, it's very pigmented, and what I love about it is that the colors show. But if you kind of use a watercolor paper that's kind of meh, um, it can like kind of bleed through, which is no bueno. And also, it's kind of harder to push around. I guess I can go into more detail if we kind of see as we're going. So, in also true um, goose fashion, uh, I pushed the experiment, I guess, even further. I kind of wanted to see the difference between, if you guys can kind of check it out here, I kind of wanted to see the difference between the the mechanical pencil. So that's the one that you see right here. And also watercolor pencil here. And then this one was actually done with a 2B pencil, so like a 2B graphite pencil. I can kind of show you guys. So the this one is the mechanical pencil. I believe it's like a point 0.7 graphite, so it's pretty thin. And then this one was done with 2B sketching pencil, like here on the bottom. So I don't know if you guys can see, at least for me, it's pretty clear, but I'll try and focus it so then you guys can see it. So what I see comparison-wise between all of them is, and this is like super good, guys, before you actually work on your piece. It's going to, I know when you look at it, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is like so much work at the beginning, but I promise you it will show in your work later on. As you keep on practicing with the same materials, it's a huge time saver because imagine I'm doing all of these experimentations like with thumbnails, so it's like technically smaller version, like the piece that I actually want to work on, like at least the size, eventually is going to take up this whole piece of paper. So it's 9 by 12, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 9 by 12 or 8 by 14. That's usually the sizes that I work with. And I'm telling you, doing it, at least experimentations here in thumbnails that are like significantly smaller and where you can like change up, I guess, the recipe. Think of it like this. It's better to make 12 cupcakes and at least one of them is good than making like 12 cakes. Um, so try and when you're experimenting with like new stuff or new materials, especially I've never really used tracing paper before, try and see like the best method and see like what the paint like behaves with the best. Especially since I'm working with like a lot of variables, and also it helps if at least on your sketches and stuff, especially that they do look pretty similar, especially the mechanical and the 2B. Like at least here in person, I can see the difference like pretty clearly, and also when I worked with like the graphite, the mechanical pencil for me was a lot easier to erase. I could see more details compared to the 2B, but also this is for the specific sketch. So probably if I do flowers or other things that possibly I don't draw a lot of details in them, it could possibly work better. But at least for the sketch for today, I found that the mechanical worked a lot better to get all those little details, especially for the eyelashes and especially for the chin. I found that I could control it a little better. So we're gonna do that for today. I'm gonna line my paper probably because I didn't like, anytime I do like three and the worst one, the one that I didn't like, I always put the next experiment on. So this one is going to be basically my designated washi tape. So as I lay down this stuff, how you guys doing? Talk to me. How's your? Well, it's Wednesday over here. Um, so I know last time we talked about everyone catching up on Dragon Ball, and uh, actually, funny enough, like I went on kind of a small coffee date with my hubby, and we caught up on uh, a little bit of uh, Dragon Ball Ultra, I think, is the basically where Goku and Vegeta, or no, Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Frieza fight it out together, and I was like, I thought I would never see that in my lifetime. Uh, Honestly, when even Vegeta joined the crew, I was like skeptical. I was like, are you what? What alternate universe is this happening in? But I got to see. I want to say that they fought. Oh my gosh, how am I so bad with names? Jaira? Jaira, I think his name is. That he kind of looks like a cross between, um, like Mujambu and, uh, hmm. Honestly, he just looks like an alternate Mujambu. Like, I'm probably even pronouncing that wrong. See, this is why I need you guys. I need you guys to fact check my Dragon Ball Z facts because I get it wrong a lot of times. So, just to kind of go over um, these borders. So basically, what I'm doing is like taping off because, especially with watercolor, I like to do kind of what's called a wash. So, oh, I apologize. Oh, that was my calendar. Oh, it's reminding me that it is my friend Joanna's birthday next week. I added that to my calendar. So, that is definitely happening next week. I do. I have to put everyone's birthday because if not, I just forget. So, let me see. So yeah, these borders they help kind of giving like crisper lines uh, to your painting. I always end up like at least with mine like cutting them anyway around the edges, but it kind of helps especially when you have two drawings like kind of close together. Let me see. I wonder if I can actually see. Let me see. I'm kind of see. Oh, I can. Can I see myself in real time? Probably not. Oh, well, it's a little delayed. I did. I thought I got kind of excited. I was like, can I see myself? Okay, then I'm gonna have to turn back. I apologize, guys. Today is the day of much experimentation. I'll probably give you guys a heads up next time when that happens, just because I know a lot of you guys are watching for like a step by step. So, alrighty. So we have everything kind of cleared off. Also, it really helps to get a washi tape if you are doing this with a washi tape to get one that's clear because I'm noticing I can actually see the borders a lot better, and I noticed that this one's a little bit too close, like it's compared to the other ones. Oh, also it peels off pretty nice, which is a bonus. But I don't know. I don't know if I can recommend washi tape. I don't know. It's one of those things where I see it on Instagram all the time, and I'm just like, okay, like this. But at the same time, it's not with watercolor, so I don't know. I'm skeptical. That's why we got to do things like that. We got to find out ourselves. And also, a lot of the times, like, believe it or not, people do seal their stuff like beforehand. Um, So I don't think with Mod Podge because I've only seen that with like actual like let's say with wood or never really with watercolor. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure there's a sealant specific for painting that I can't just think of the brand right now. So let me see if everything is centered. Oh, I just noticed. See, this is why I gotta check. Let's see. Let's see. Can we see everything okay now? Let me see. There we go. You see how faint that is though? And that was like with even like the 2B pencil. So, and even then, let me see if I can zoom it in so then you guys can get like a better view. Because I don't want to have you guys miss any action, you know? This is what we're here for. We're here for that content. Alrighty, let's see. Configure video. Let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in you guys a little better. There we go. Intense intensity intensifies. All right, how are we doing? Okay, guys, I think we're good on that end. Okay, so we're going to do a wash first. I kind of want to do it with watercolor, even though I have gouache on standby. I will most likely, because this one, the specific painting, I did it with, they're not the Posca markers, but they're kind of, I hate to say knockoff Posca. I stole them from my husband's shop. If I'm gonna be honest, like, he uses the pens, they're like paint pens, that he marks specific trailers and stuff, that's like washable. And he brought them home, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna use them for work. I didn't know, to tell you the truth, when he brought them home, I thought in my, selfish brain, I was like, art supplies, how romantic. And then I started using them, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, it's art stuff. And he was like, no, that's for my work, honey. So, yeah, so this is what I got out of it. Excuse me, I have my cappuccino. But yeah, I used basically the marker pen, so you can kind of see it a little streaky like here. So hopefully that's why I kind of want to use gouache because I think it's gonna have like a similar effect, but let us try some watercolor first and see what we get out of it. I have my words. I have my koi watercolors for today. I'm going to basically. Oh, and I got. Look how nice. I also got like a spray bottle set. When I first started using watercolor, I actually took one of my mom's like plastic perfume bottles, like the teeny tiny ones, like those travel ones. And what's funny is that I didn't I didn't even though I washed it and all that stuff, um like the good thing it was like a watercolor palette that was like one of those dollar store ones because even though I washed the perfume bottle, it still had like molecules of alcohol in it. And I want to say like the palette turned like the alcohol molecules like still in the water bottle or in the spray bottle like broke down the color to the point where it turned like 3 shades whiter. So by the end of it, I got a cool pastel palette out of it, I guess. But yeah, that was a lesson. Guys, don't use perfume bottles. I think by the end of it, my stream, I always get very happy because you guys are learning from my mistakes. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to grow together. Um, Yeah, so I sprayed that down. I wanna, you know what? Let's try. I'm kind of seeing size-wise. Um, Also, one of my friends does this. I would think it's pretty cool. I guess once you do it for a while, you'll know what brushes to use. But she actually like labels her brushes. She uses. Ooh, apologies. Oh my gosh, brush down. Oh gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. You deserve better. I'm definitely getting one of those watercolor vases, probably. Or I've even seen people use toothbrush racks. Honestly, whatever works for you. But yeah, so one of my friends, she actually marks hers, so she'll know what she used at what time, which I thought was pretty cool. So since these are kind of close together, I'm going to grab the colors. Let me double check. Probably with a separate brush and then just water it down. I'm trying to see what color I want it to. See, I got to this point. This is why, for me, especially when I have um, like a painting for whatever reason, I always leave the background last. Like, I never know what to use. So I'm probably gonna swatch right now because if I'm honest, I have no idea what I want what I want the background to be. I definitely know I want leaves of some sort. I'll probably do that. Like, now, I'm wondering. Don't mind me, like, nervous talking throughout this whole thing. Just gonna doodle some random. Sure. I still have to do like the whole background. Basically in a wash, it's like a lighter color of the background. So it's going to be extremely watered down. So if you're going to use a palette like this one where the colors are super close together, I definitely recommend getting a flat brush with uh, a smaller tail or something where you can actually like control it a lot easier and dab it a little bit. So then you get a lot more consistent when you go and get it from the um, like the tin or like the actual paint. Because if you, for example, get one of these guys and go straight down, a lot of the times the color will just stick around over here and you won't get like that much of a consistent, um, like you won't grab as like much color and you have to like keep on almost like scraping your palette for it. So just save yourself some time and get like a flat brush and you'll get um, a lot. Uh, a lot more pigment like the first time around. Um, so you can see like the remnants of our mushroom. I'll probably go a little quiet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys as I swatch, just cause I am not sure. You know what? Probably cause her shirt is yellow. And then we're gonna use green. So let's see. I'm just gonna put down the colors here on the side. Okay. And see what we got there. I definitely want to use some sort of blue. Yeah, before we even like dive in, it's a good idea to kind of swatch your colors, see what you're gonna get. If you want to go, especially, I don't know if the camera is catching how similar these two blues are, like at least in my eyeballs. I don't know why. The same with like these two reds, so that's why I want to swatch them because I'm sure probably when we swatch them, they'll turn out a little different. I don't know. It's been a while. Yeah, I do see it is almost leaning towards more of, like I almost feel like this one on top is a bit more of a greenish blue. So what I like to do is, because I forget where everything is from time to time, so I actually mark, let me see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3B. So I kind of organize my palette that way, so then I know 5B. So then I know exactly where, and I just label it like that. So then, oh, this one's like a deep indigo. That's pretty. Wow, that's reading pretty nice. I also got a lamp here, so then it helps to have something that kind of mimics natural sunlight, so it doesn't matter what time of day it is. 4. You can just go ahead and kind of find it, because it's true, it does affect at least the way that you look at color a lot of the time. With lighting, I kind of took that for granted. I was kind of like, whatever, like when I paint is when I paint. But the closer you can to like natural sunlight, the better. So, let me see, 4, 5, and this one's 6. Let me see. Yeah, so from, I guess we gotta even experiment with these too. Alrighty, so those are all the blues that we have, and then let's do for yellow, I want to say. And I definitely even recommend on top of swatching them separately to swatch them in layers. So we'll get into that in a second. It's just for me, I want to kind of pick which colors I want. And also guys, like just to even let you know, these watercolors, they dry pretty fast. So having a spray bottle or um, something to kind of keep your palette pretty moist, especially when you are using lighting. Um, that's why I say at least natural sunlight is the best, just because when you're working under a lamp like this, your palette is more prone. Especially for me, I carry my watercolor palette like in my hands, but since I'm filming for you guys, I want to make sure you get to see everything. Um, but it does dry fast under the lamp, so having like a little spray bottle or having like your water close by uh, really helps. So I'm really loving this color combo. 3B. Oh, sorry. Why did I put B? So silly. So yeah, I'm just gonna swatch for a little bit, but if you guys have any questions or concerns, I'll probably lift my mic up as we get to the next step, but for now it's just swatching. So, but if anything, if you have any questions or if you're following along and you want more specific instructions, just let me know. But for now, we're just looking through the colors that we're going to use so then we can pick that background color together. So, alrighty, I'll see you guys in a second. Oh yeah, also don't feel obligated that you guys need to like swatch every single color. Just swatch the ones that like look interesting to you or like I know some people who actually keep a swatch ring. So what you do is, if that's something that you guys want me to do in a video, it's pretty handy. Basically, you get kind of similar to like the way we even cut out these bad boys. Like kind of like that you have um, a kind of square or an index card or something of the watercolor paper, and you swatch the colors just like this, and you can actually do that even with color combinations, just single, just like what I'm doing. And you can try that even with different paper, with different techniques, and so then you can kind of compare what it's going to look like ahead of time. I definitely recommend that if it's something where you do bigger paintings and you can't like swatch every single color all the time. Um, or if you use kind of like a similar palette uh, and you work with specific color combinations, it just helps. at least for me too, I'm kind of experimenting with watercolor and gouache. So if I kind of have an idea of what everything looks like ahead of time, it just saves me time. 4. Yeah, and also numbering, because at least on, um, I'm telling you, even like within like this range, it just looks so similar. But when you put it on paper, you get to see, like even I'm double checking my count because I'm just like, oh my gosh, they look so similar. 3, 4. Okay. 3, 4, and then 5. But yeah, you can do it in any order that you want. You can do it from cools to warms, from basically whatever. There are no rules, I want to say, to how you want to do things, and really whatever's fun for you. For me, I kind of think in color. Um, so this this for me, especially, I got a couple of projects in my mind right now. So this is actually helping me in the long run because I'm more than likely, like straight after this, start working on that. So I can honestly look at this as a reference and be like, hey. Okay, so I'm kind of tempted. Like, I'm kind of tempted to try this one out. Let's see. Ooh. Now, my question is, how will that look on a wash? Because that's how it looks concentrated. So, yeah, I'm thinking of maybe possibly like mm, adding this to like an orange. Kind of liking it. Yep, I dig it. Let's try it out. What's the worst that can happen? All right, so we're basically, let me just put this up here since this is what we're doing. So I'm loading my brush here with a flat. I already kind of wet my palette already, so it had a little bit of orange in here, like a lighter orange. So I'm just like adding this bad boy to um, the color, or to like the mix, just because in a wash, you kind of want it to be more water than pigment, just because you're probably going to reactivate it and stuff as you layer. So the more water that you have, um, the better, because you kind of want uh, like as consistent of a look as possible. So try and make it'll happen to like where you don't get the measurements right, especially if it's a new size that you're working with. But try to keep like where you only put pigment once instead of trying and making the same mix twice, because it's going to be hard to kind of repeat things. So try and make the color um, like already once and as much as you would need, and then that will result kind of in a more consistent look. I'll definitely show you guys after, especially I have it in one of my watercolor pads, the difference between, oh, actually, look, I can probably show you right now, especially we're not laying down color yet. It'll stay there. The tray is pretty good at it. So, alrighty, so here you can probably see it a bit better, but the blue is actually cakier. Oh, in case you guys see, like, I'm definitely gonna like probably redesign this, but it's like a DBZ, like inspired mushroom. So basically, you'll see like in real life, especially, how uneven the wash came, because I basically ran out of color halfway through. So basically, there's like little dark spots, especially here in the center, which honestly, you can argue like it's like, oh look, it's like creating shadow, but no, it's just blotchy. Like really, in probably doesn't read in the camera, but Oh, hi, Slowpokey. I'm so sorry. I didn't see your message till now. Oh, I apologize. I think because my see, this is why I'm experimenting. So I have my back turned to the PC because I have a little bit of a new setup, and I swore that my chat is like catching up, like my activity feed. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I promise I'll try and turn my back like as much as possible so then we can interact and talk. I'm so sorry. I thought my iPad would kind of like stream in real time, but if anything, I'll try and figure it out either on my laptop so then I can see your amazing comments. So, how are you doing, my friend? Are you having a lovely Wednesday? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, basically, it's very chunky. So try and get everything in one. This one, it was a little better because I did the math more consistently. So you can actually see that the wash came out like it looks, especially for watercolor. Gouache you can kind of get away with because it's more acrylic than water to activate it. So by the end of it, you can get away with, and that it dries matte. So it's not as finicky as watercolor, but trust me, if you don't get those measurements right the first time, um, like it'll kind of show, especially when you go and cover it with color all over again. But the good thing is that especially if you're just doing a wash and you're gonna like cover it with stuff, then you can kind of get away with it. That's why I kind of recommend using a broad brush to kind of wash everything. Oh, this great. Oh, good, good. I'm glad. Welcome to the Education Center. It's so funny. Oh, also, Pokey, I went to go and take a photo of the planes because I actually went on base to the Air Force Base to get some supplies. But it was closed off due to COVID, and I want to say because they're fixing up one of the roads. But once it opens up, I'll make sure to show you the photos and stuff when you hop on. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start with this. Ooh, I've never used like this burnt orange, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to, ooh, I do like the brush. So this is the true testament of the washi tape because I do like the brush. So it's showing up pretty good. We're just basically going from left to right. I want to make sure that all of the color that is on the brush before I come in again. So, and anytime you put basically the mixture all over the brush, definitely go there on the base. So from the, oops, sorry. Okay, let me, oh, of course, no, no problem. Oh, don't worry about it. Really? I went outside garden. Oh, yummy. Are growing, and then I went back and, oh, let me like read it appropriately. But I'm having the best Wednesday ever. I went outside in my garden, ate my strawberries. Oh, that sounds amazing. Painting a model. Ooh. Oh, yes, of course. If you have any questions about specific, now I've never used, I feel kind of like a fraud, at least in the modeling world, because I've only used like airbrush guns, like, where I've never actually like physically painted. Like I was one of those because I used to play D&D and I was one of those that I was like, "Oh, cool gold paint. Everything is gold. My army is gold. Every I basically used because I played Warhammer and so I was like everything must be gilded. Every But it was mostly because I didn't know how to paint models, especially it's hard. It's like especially the tinier figurines. Um But yeah, if you have any specific questions, at least for like um like types of brushes or things like that. For me, like at least I definitely know like the biggest saver, at least for me, was finding out about like masking tape and even they have these peel away like this peel away paint um, that helps out with making like cleaner lines. Oh my gosh, like even wait, let me see if I can go grab it really quick. Wait, let me just finish off the center. But yeah, basically if you're following along, it's basically going um, from left to right and then going straight to the center because you'll see like as you keep pushing the color, it will like get warmer. And also all this stuff that's here in the middle, it's gonna get covered up anyway. So don't sweat it if like you run out of wash just because you already got the edges and that's like the most important. So if you're kind of like me and like you're starting off with all the measurements and stuff, just go from the edges and then in because these are really the corners or what you want to fill in because everything else is just gonna kind of be covered. So, oh, that's so funny. Oh, hi, Spee. How you doing? Oh, actually, wait. I was gonna grab my dragon. So this is the So I painted this dragon, and this was the only thing I ever hand painted. Um, because everything else I airbrushed. Honestly, airbrushing was really fun. Mostly because like I would chill at the shop all the time, and they let me use airbrushes of stuff, especially. But yeah, this is the only thing, and I used acrylic paint, and it was the biggest pain in the butt in my life. Oh, thank you. It was, I'm telling you, this part right here, this was the whole shade of the dragon for 2 days until I kind of figured out like how to not make it that. And also, the gold paint was an accident because because I spilled glitter on this because I'm a dunce and like I left my paint next to a glitter canister. So I was like, well, I guess this dragon's gonna hoard jewelry now. So, oh, thank you, Spee. Oh, I appreciate it. No, what's super funny is that I did all of this, right? Because I was like, ooh, fancy. I wanted, whatever. And then when I looked at the model, guess what? Guess what, like, the dragon is? It's called a baby black dragon. And like I made it all these funky crazy colors. So I didn't even like follow the tutorial. Like literally the box says baby black dragon. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't follow I can't follow instructions for the life of me." And I'm just like, "God, like whatever." I took creative liberty. So even I posted it on my personal Instagram, and I felt so embarrassed when people were like, "Oh my gosh, what model is that?" And I was like, "It's the baby black dragon." And they're like, "What?" Like, that's okay. Like, I think one of my friends put it the best. They're like, "You took creative liberty." But how are you guys doing? And well, Icy just told me um that they ate delicious strawberry. Do you have any tips? Because I really want to grow strawberries. Is it like a relatively easy? Uh, okay, so we have our wash down. So we're gonna let that dry a little bit because it's a bit on the even fanning helps. Ooh, I know. Like I don't have. Yeah, like I don't have a green thumb. I literally like I am an assassin when it comes to vegetables. I had a cactus. I killed a cactus. Do you know how hard it is to kill a cactus? I somehow, they were like the succulents. I got it as a birthday gift. And I did. I swore I followed the instructions, but I guess I'm just not meant to. That's why I'm kind of scared to plant anything because I just harbinger death. And maybe I should just try. I do like there's part of me I really want to like dabble into gardening. I really really want to. Especially Speed told me about their potatoes and like I don't know, I've been thinking potatoes or my neighbor grew green onions, so I definitely know, which was super awesome because we made steak yesterday and it was so good. Okay, I'm gonna lay down okay, so since this one's kind of like a warmer color, you can see it's kind of like a reddish brown. What I want to do is layer a um, so on the color wheel, uh, especially a lot of palettes, they do this kind of for you. So you have your warm colors on this side, your cool colors in the center, and then kind of your earth tones on the edges. So what I like to do is anytime I use something like an earth tone, I go straight into the warm colors and then go into my cool colors. Then that way, especially when you're dealing with watercolor, that you're using um, like basically very similar brushes and kind of a water source, it doesn't get muddy because that's very easy to do, especially with watercolor. With gouache, I'm getting like basically the information that with practice that gouache, since it's more acrylic, uh, it's drying kind of more, how can I put it, like matte and more by itself. So it's kind of, honestly, if you guys are used to thinking like digital, it's a pretty good transition um, from digital to trying out stuff in uh, in art, like so like traditional art, because everything is so it's almost like it does it. It really feels like pop art almost. Oh wait, let me see what you guys said. Um, big garden next to oh yeah, like a green onion. It was tasty. Like I guess because they're kind of like sprigs, so it's kind of like where it's I guess it tastes very concentrated because of how small it is. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, have you ever had miso soup before? Um, that's like a pretty big ingredient in miso soup. If you're planting them in a big garden next to soil, the strawberries like to grow vines out of. Oh, okay. Reach the floor and grow there and gets annoying, but bugs are a big problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, we do have bugs here. Is it like aphids? Like the green? Oh, you've never had I'm trying to think. It does taste like a you know what? It's not as strong as a purple onion if you've ever had those, but it's kind of I know it's difficult to like describe the taste, but it does add like a lot of flavor to like the steak. I think. Um but at least yeah, I would want if anything I'll update you guys on because we have to get a weed whacker because our grass is out of control. And also my neighbor found a snake in their backyard, so yeah, we're definitely not gonna try and um bring a snake into the yard. So okay, so I'm gonna go into 3Y. So one, two, three. Okay, so just gonna go in over here. I kind of want it to be not so concentrated just because I'm probably going to layer it, even though from the reference that I did, this is probably the point where I'll probably use gouache, but we're experimenting, so. All right, just gonna go in here. But yeah, a lot of times I use flat brushes. just to lay down color, and later on I use the round brushes, so the ones that I kind of showed you here, to kind of uh, add detail work, and it's a lot easier because flat brushes are a lot more consistent, especially when you're putting color for the first time. You just kind of want it to look a little bit more solid. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where um, your oranges are going to read pretty good uh, just because they're so close to uh, those warm tones. But don't get freaked out if it's something where uh, when you put down your blues, they're going to look like a little bit more green. That is perfectly natural, and it'll slowly, especially with watercolor, as it dries, a lot of the times it dries lighter, so it'll be a lot more forgiving, even if you make a mistake, to wait for it to dry. I know I get impatient too, um, but if you just wait for it to dry, it'll reactivate with more watercolor, but you don't want to risk tearing the paper by trying and like fixing your mistake. Just give it some time. Alrighty, so let me see what you guys wanted to say. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, don't worry, they're a pain in the butt. Like, honest to God. Like, I recently, so if I'm gonna be like 10 out of 10 honest, like I just made the switch to gouache and it's more of my style. Like just because of how bold it is. Like look how like much it like pops, like compared to, so I want to say like just try everything, man. Like yeah, so watercolor like it comes in different forms too. So don't feel like paint is like the only way to experience watercolor. There's actually such things as watercolor pencils. It's so funny because I actually talked to somebody about this the other day. Um, if you're like just starting out, watercolor pencils are pretty neat because it kind of introduces you to the idea, but then you can also sketch. Then gouache is like short-term analysis of it. I have it right here, so then I can show you on camera. They're kind of like if watercolor and acrylic paint had a baby, and like the baby has more features of the acrylic, if that makes sense. Like I hope that analogy helped because I recently, I'd never heard of gouache in my life. I didn't even know how it was spelled. It wasn't until I found an Instagram. Her name is Sibylline. I can put a link if you want like a super great example. I'm gonna like type it here. Oh, good, good. I'm glad it makes sense. I believe I want to say that's how. She is an amazing artist, and she actually even came out with her own gouache line. Oh, and this is how you spell it because I didn't even know how. Um, but it is. There's also. Oh man, there's just so many things that like you gotta try. It's just I don't know. Like for me, it's so fun. Like to just Um, but I also know that it's hard because, like financial constraints and you kind of want to find your thing, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's fun to experiment, but there's other days where it's like, geez, I just want to get it right the first time, you know? So, um, if it makes you feel better, the gouache that I found, like the one that I showed you, it was like $8 for like the set of 12. Or no, sorry, 13. Oh, sorry, 13. Well, it's 12 colors with another pack or another separate pack of China White, which is like it's like a way to make the colors more pastel. So they give you kind of double of it. So and then and also people do very commonly if you watch Bob Ross, like a lot of times like he actually like coats his paintings in that, so then in China White, so then the colors pop out even better and more consistently. And then what else have I been dabbling in? Copic markers, super fun. They're kind of like an alcohol based. And then sorry, this is like a thing like for me I can go on hours and hours. It's like you know how you are with planes, that's how I am with Oh yeah, no, no problem. So icy, tell me. Tell me. How is the feels? Tell me, because that's kind of like a subject we sometimes talk about. All right, just gonna go in, just clean that up a little bit. Alrighty, so have my yellows. Also, it really helps too to have like your reference close by just in case. Oh, we don't have to talk about it if that's not something, by the end of it, I want you to relax, especially a lot of times you guys catch me on a time where um you guys are winding down. So, don't you sweat it. Right, gonna go in most likely. So next on the menu, since we already went with our warm tone, then our in-between tone, what we're gonna go and do before hitting our like very cool color, we're gonna go to our next like I guess coolish color, and that's gonna be our green. So we're gonna like dabble into that. Oh, really? Okay. Oh man, hey, you popped on my tablet. Yay. So I got to see your thing. Okay, so okay, I mean that's fair. That's fair. You know what? You gotta do. I see by the end of it, you gotta do what's comfortable for you. I'm really proud of you because I know it was something that like you went back and forth on, but as long as it's something that you feel at peace with, and it's okay. You give yourself time. Alrighty, so we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna go. So when it comes to building, especially when you're on the first one, try and go as light as possible because eventually we are going to highlight probably with this 1G color, and then give a little bit of detail work with, like, I'm thinking between probably since this is more of like an olive, I kind of want to go into this 2G one because I'm seeing from the color. You kind of get this with a little bit of practice that there's hints of yellow in it. And since olive green does have more like a goldish brown, um, like I want to kind of base this on it. If you're not sure what to ever layer your colors, try and do a swatch with the layer. I can give you an example. Um, where it's super saved in one of my paintings. I'm not gonna lie, especially when you have a character with tattoos. Um, so yeah, doing something like this, where you swatch ahead of time, like how it's gonna dry and layer, is gonna save you a lot of times because if you even see, like, I kind of did this comparison like here and was like, ooh, like those blues. And that's the thing, that's what a lot of people don't um, know, especially when they're first starting out. Just because, like, something is within the same wheelhouse, or like blues normally in a lot of ways they're mixed, um, with either purples or even hints of red, and a lot of times you can have two blues completely contrast with each other because one is more like pigmented with red or pigmented with shades of purple. So sometimes they'll clash, or it's pigmented with other colors. You'd be surprised. Oh, no, that's okay. Honestly, I think that was very mature. And as long as you're kind of living your truth, and finding something that you're both comfortable with and that like you're both clear on. And I think that was very sweet where you're respecting her time and you're respecting her as a person. And I think that's going to, in the long run, like it's going to feel uncomfortable and it's going to feel painful, but you're gonna see that it's really going to pay off, by the end of it. So I'm really proud of you. Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, I think by the end of it, you're valuing her, you're valuing yourself, and I think time is a very precious thing. So, like, good for you. Like, good for you, like, by the end of it, that you were honest with your feelings. And you know what? In 2 or 3 months, if it's something where if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. I'm very much like a believer in that. But the worst thing to do is like not be honest. I'm sure you understand. Like it's, oh my gosh, and pushing for something that, no, and she's really going to thank you for it. By the end of it, it's something that you guys will see, because either way, um you guys will see the like by the end of it in 2 months or something like that. You never know what's going to happen, especially now with COVID. So relationships are an investment, my friend. Like, and if it's something that it's it's gonna suck for now, but it's better to like wait off a lot of the times. Definitely let me know though if I'm not on track. Like, yeah, just going in with those broad strokes. Aw. Oh, that's very sweet, Icy. Yeah, no, and by the end of it, if 2 months is something where you guys can, and that's the thing, like revisiting and waiting, um, and see, because if it's something where it gets to the point where it's uncomfortable and you guys want to talk about it again, or move on or things like that, like it's something that you guys can talk about. And also it shows like not only like discipline. I know that's a funny word, especially when it comes to relationships, but um when it comes to like the investment of your emotions, a lot of the times like when people kind of put boundaries and it's like, hey, you know what, these values are important to me, and this and that, a lot of the times it shows a lot more quality, when it comes to, and it's almost like you put it out in the universe. I almost feel like it I know it sounds like cheesy and like, hippy dippy, but a lot of the times when you kind of cement that in yourself, I think that's what it is. It's like you cement it in yourself and you become more reassured in yourself, then it's kind of like, I feel like that has like a better effect on your relationships, because you just learned something about yourself, and that's going to like communicate that to other people. I hope that makes sense. Like in my mind, it kind of did, but let me know. Sorry, sometimes I feel like the caffeine like just hits me a certain way where I'm just like, am I making? Oh, okay, good. Oh, yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like I think once uh that yeah, you like cemented that for yourself. So, good on you, man. All right, so we're just gonna go through there. All right, so next is the cool tones while you let that dry. So basically what you want to do is when you lay down those flats, it's good to have it dry for a bit, especially when it comes to watercolor, that it literally, the fun thing about watercolor is that it says on the box and it says on a lot of instruction manuals when it comes to watercolor that it gets activated by water, but the funnier thing is that it also gets reactivated with paint all over again. So even if you go in, let's say, with this bad boy where it has like a lot more paint than water because it's pigmented, it will reactivate again. So that means that all of those colors that you just laid down are going to basically be turned back into liquid and be pushed like either this way or that depending on your brush strokes. So just keep that in mind. As you're laying down color. So it's a great idea, especially when you're working with small spaces, to let it dry as much. I have this problem, trust me. I am a very impatient person. Oh, excuse me. Oh, so sorry. Yes, it is extremely, especially when you're dealing, for example, with ink. Ink, I found this the same way, where like let leave it alone. I know. I know when you make a mistake and um oh, no, and you'll see like oh, sorry, I'm reading this. So she was exactly what I wanted. Um so basically it's something where if you find somebody that you truly care about and you'll see like it is better um to be honest, like 110% honest with somebody that you care about and it not working perfectly like the way that you wanted, because by the end of it pushing for something that's not comfortable for you or comfortable for her, sometimes the answer really is um like giving the situation time, kind of like painting. Hey, look, we full circle to this. So I never thought. So just like watercolors, relationships sometimes just need time to like, because if not, then you're pushing too hard and then it breaks. That's I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry if that was like super cheesy, but yeah, like you'll see I know it sucks now because it's something that's new, and but I can tell you from at least the other side of things. um Welcome back to the joy of painting. Honestly, one of you guys suggested, and uh, I'm not. I kind of really want to do it, where I like for real want to like follow a Bob Ross tutorial. I like super want to do that. I'll probably do it with my gouache painting. Like there was this one like, and I think I found like a little scalpel too, so I think I can find a tutorial because I've never drawn a mountain before. I've never painted a mountain, and I'm kind of like I kind of want to accept this challenge. That's pretty funny. Welcome back to the joy of painting with Haunted Goose. He is. Oh my gosh, he had a pet squirrel. I like honestly, I want like just a stunt. Yeah, there's actually a channel here on Twitch, um, where you can watch his stuff. It's like on repeat, and you can follow his tutorials. Guys, I think we know. Yes, he had a pet squirrel. He would put it in his pocket. Oh yeah, he beats the devil out of the. No, for me, my favorite was also when he would have the clouds, like the happy clouds, and then he would say, like it's your world. If you want a happy cloud, what is this guy? Oh, he's only like the best painter ever. Oh my gosh, he is the best. What? Really? I didn't even know he had a son. Oh man, now I wanna. Oh my gosh. See, I don't know these things. I just remember that I am. I think I'm gonna pull up the video. I wanna see if um I'll do that. Probably what I'll do is have like a feed of Bob Ross, like like here in the corner. So like how I do this little thing where let me see if I have the banner. But like like these things, like I'll probably just put one here on the corner. A Pokey Power no. Pokey Power. Oh, why did I think of Sailor Moon when you said that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the only thing I wish I could mimic from Bob Ross. Like I don't have the like the stencil thing, so I can't beat the devil out of the brush. But of he oh yeah, are they gonna make like a remake of He-Man? I think so. You do. You have the power. Oh yeah, also Pokey from like the last time we were on stream, I have to like keep on editing the kitty that we were working on because it just looks like a thing of nightmares. I don't I don't know if you were lurking at any point, but oh boy, on Monday we did um we did a little kitty and it looked like the nightmare child of Invader Zim and Luna from Sailor Moon. Oh boy, I have to do a lot of editing. Uh, oh yes, Sailor Pokey. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh man, I wish I could go back to those days when I used to like play pretend to be Sailor Moon and well, I was always Sailor Mercury because I love the color blue. Yes, do it. Yes, we all want. I'm not gonna lie. When I get like my dream pastel PC, I'm gonna have all of like I'm talking Sailor Moon paraphernalia, card captor Sakura. Like I'm gonna have like all the big hitters. I don't know if you guys know like Mew Mew Tokyo or Tokyo Mew Mew. Oh my gosh, I love that so much because like it was literally like all the fruits, like they were like themed from fruits. So cute. Who else? Who else was a magical girl? I'm like thinking of. Does Inuyasha count? I like Inuyasha, but DBZ, I'm sure. I'm sure he's like a Disney princess in some universe. All right, just going in. And if there's ever a point where you guys do get impatient like me, what you can do is on the border, you can kind of test out your watercolor and just kind of do a little dab dab. And that will actually make like a natural shadow. Just be careful, at least with that, because the more water you add, the darker it'll be, and then there's like a chance for it to be muddy. So if there's ever a point where you're kind of questioning where to lay down a color, try and follow it as close to the pencil mark and kind of follow it along with your brushes rather than making a straight stroke because I don't know about you guys, but I suffer from the shaky hand. So what you can do is actually lay down your brush like so, kind of anchor your arm and drag your brush this way And a lot of the times it'll come out a lot smoother than just kind of taking it and winging it, like, and try and push your brush up rather than dragging it down, because at least from like the flex of your fingers, especially if you're a righty like me, this obviously the rules change when you switch hands. I am not fortunate to be ambidextrous, so I cannot help you guys if you guys are lefty. um, Fighting evil. Wait, I need to sing this. I haven't read it. Wait. Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. Never running from a real fight is the one named Sailor Pokey. It's true. I like it. Guys, we have it all. We have theme song. We have art advice. We have love advice. You can't tell me. Oh no, guys, wait. I only have 10 more minutes. Oh god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Especially if you have headphones. I'm so sorry you guys had to hear that. Yes, you do. You have an alter. No, and I'm picturing it like, oh my gosh, like the Pokemon you're named after. And I'm like picturing it as like Slowpoke in like the whole Sailor Moon outfit. That's like literally what. Yeah, I see. Alter ego. Yes. I'm here for it. I would totally. You know what? I haven't even watched like the newer Sailor Moon. I think it's Crystal. I need to catch up on things. Well, at least I kind of watched one fight of Dragon Ball, so alrighty. So, before I leave you guys, because I at least want to lay down some semblance of blue before so these are drying. I'm like more talking to myself. I'm pep talking myself to like not touch anything. Oh yeah, guys, I'm so happy. I like finally like synced with the chat. It just took like 50 years, but I can finally like speak to you guys in real time. I think I promise next stream I'll have it figured out. Alrighty, so we're gonna lay down blue now. This is where it gets tricky, because I want to say, especially like the center of the piece is kind of arguably the most important, because that's kind of where the eye goes first. So this is the part where I get the most nervous because I'm just like, I can't fudge it up. So, well, at least more than usual. So for this one, I'm actually going to downgrade to a smaller brush because um, it's kind of not like the background where we are going to use probably the same amount of water because I want like the color to kind of last. I don't want to like dip my brush in pigment as much. But on top of that, like we're going to do a lot more detail work in the center. So what I'm going to do is kind of graduate to a smaller brush. Speed of sound gods. Streaming around. This means no place to go follow. The kitten at the left of this stream? Oh, you mean like the little Neko-chan? Oh, wait. Alter ego streaming around at the speed of sound. Got place to go follow his rainbow. Oh, wait, do you mean like the little emoji kitten? Oh, I hope I understood the reference. Oh, wait, oops. Actually, I'm glad I looked back. Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah, like honestly, I downloaded it because I thought it was the cutest thing, and especially like greets you guys when you like come on and follow. It is, and it's also like at the time I'm like, oh, it's like a little familiar, how cute, which is hilarious because it's like I'm called a haunted goose, so like why is there a cat there? But, eventually I want to like graduate to like a little dragon cuz I saw like there was one like that, but we got to like oh, thanks. I did. It's actually part of the Streamlab. So I see if there's ever a point where you stream or like you're ever interested in streaming, it's a free app. I could always give you the link, but what's cool is you can actually adjust it and like alter it and stuff, and it can say like little catchphrases. And obviously if you pay, like you can get different types of emotes and stuff, but alrighty, so at least I'm trying to kind of match what I have here on paper. So it looks like I'm eyeballing it because I'm lazy right now. 3B has a little bit more green. So I'm gonna go to 5B and then probably lightening up with a white. A lot of people when, let me see, one, two, using this is something that it comes pretty handy, especially if you ever want to shade something. So it's very important to know when you actually make something lighter or darker, not to use black or white. Um, a lot of the times, what this does is actually like instead of making the colors kind of reach a certain point of the color wheel, what it does is it actually makes it either muddier. Um, so, for example, it'll probably make it more like brownish color when it comes to like watercolor. If you actually want to darken a blue, especially adding red to it, will or purple will actually give it the effect that you would want. So since thinking in color and thinking what we already put, the color that we're actually going to put down is probably going to turn out more purple. So getting a color here that is farther away from green because it'll make it muddier looking is probably the best choice. But honestly, at this point, it's kind of like, unless we swatch it, um, we're not sure. But definitely adding white to it will resolve the problem just because it'll give it a bit more of a push towards the blue. But if you do want to darken your colors, or at least add shadow to your blue, um, adding a red will give it a natural effect of shadow rather than, especially if you're doing faces or a skin tone. I made that mistake, especially starting out. Um, what I would do is I would add black to it, thinking that it would make it um, like it does make it darker, but in it of itself, you're actually bringing the closer to black rather than dark blue. So think about it this way, if it's easier to think about it. Adding white will make it closer to white, and adding black will bring it closer to black. Yes, you'll get a dark blue, but you'll get a dark blue that's basically sucking the color out. Um, so I would only recommend it, for example, if you're going to paint a sky, if you're going to paint kind of things with caverns, because you're introducing a black color to it. But if you're drawing things or bringing things with tones, so for example, skins with shadows, things like that, it's much more natural to have it with red. Okay, wait, let me see. Ba-ba-bum. Aw. Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, yeah, yeah. Mahogany red is perfect because it's actually, it also has browns to it. So, a lot of the times it will, how can I explain it? Adding earth tones and like a dark red to it, it's a pretty, and what you can do is actually when you add the blue to the mahogany red, then add, so start with a dark outline and then push it, like let's say to the center, and then add a red to it. You'll see it actually makes it like very vibrant. Yeah. That's a good mix to it. Also, what I like to do is that I start out with the dark color first because, especially here, like for this reference, you're gonna see like a lot of curves and straight lines. So actually having that, what start to do is put the dark color first and then work from the inside. So then if I make a mistake on the inside, all I have to do is add more of the dark. It is much better to, let's say, start with dark and then add light than the other way around, especially when it comes to watercolor, because the more paint you add, indefinitely, like it'll get darker and darker with watercolor. So it's good to work with darks first and then add light to it, because what you can do is add gouache or something else to cover it, that's more opaque, because in and of itself, watercolor will more often than not like misbehave itself and turn muddy. Like, so it's almost like you're trying to. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I hope I didn't. I just go on tangents. I apologize. I apologize. I speak from more of a sense of like, oh God, like work on work on this because uh like, oh God, I've ruined so many paint. You know why? Wait, let me see. Let me open, because I show this. Look at this catastrophe of like I did this thing and Jesus, like I look at it and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, oh my gosh, like it is so, like it reads okay on camera because of how small, but I did this in real life and Jesus, it was. Whew. Let me see what else. I can show you more. Oh, I did this one. Actually, this one was cute. But you can kind of see like that muddying thing I was talking about, where it's all like murky and stuff. I did this comic of my husband and I when we visited before everything like closed down. Um, we went to a waterfall together, and it was like, but you can kind of see what I was talking about, where the skin tones and oh no, thank you, I appreciate it. Wait, let me see. I swear, no, no. I guess this too. Like this was actually like one of the first times that I used the jelly gouache, and mind you, this was supposed to be like two different tones, but it all like kind of like merged together into this like, oh, I really appreciate it, thank you. But honestly, if oh, good, good, because for me, I'm kind of going through this process. So then hopefully it helps somebody out because I feel a lot of the times I'm speed running through these things since I have to like give classes and stuff. Um, so I'm just like, I hope this makes sense. Oh guys, I'm so sorry. I actually have to go because I need to feed my fur children. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining me. Do you guys have any questions though before I? Oh, good, good. I'm glad that you guys are all relaxed. We're all good. We're in a good headspace. I will most likely post the cute kitty emoji. Well, cute in quotation. Cute in quotation marks kitty, probably on Instagram soon. I'll post this beautiful masterpiece on Instagram, and I'll keep you guys posted. And thank you guys so much for joining. I laugh so much. You make this whole process like so much more fun and hilarious. And thank you guys so much for everything. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.